Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to get going on this day. I'm about to burst. I swear. I'm just excited. So, hi, my name is Emily. I'm a faithful follower of Christ. I'm addicted to sugar, flour, and binging. And, sorry, I just noticed this has been on my arm for like 2 days. Taking that off now. Okay, there. Youch. Focus, Emily. Oops, I did it again. Britney Spears. How can we ever hear that again without thinking of her? And it cracks me up to imagine that someone would go on YouTube. I was laughing about this in my head last night. Someone going on YouTube looking for Britney Spears, and they come across me, this middle-aged woman that can't quit eating. How disappointing. But then I started thinking, Britney's got to be middle-aged too. I'm pretty sure she's like my peer. I don't know. Brit, leave it down below. How old are you? I'm assuming she's one of my subscribers. Okay, so oops, I did it again, right? Please, if you will, go up underneath the I Just Binged video, and you'll see where I put day 19. Nope, did not claim victory. I went into some detail, not all. It's, like I said, it was a perfect storm of things that some are kind of personal. I don't even care to go into it. But I just like what I wrote, and I typed out a prayer, and I trust that that prayer is being answered. And the long and the short of it, the gist of it basically, is that it was a perfect storm yesterday. It was a perfect storm of exhaustion and some physical stress, emotional stress. I had been up since 4:30. And by the time I picked kids up, and I had a car, a Suburban. I never know what, I miss being able to say a van or a car. What do I call my Suburban? It's a big, long SUV. Anyways. It was full of kids. One in particular was driving me crazy, and I do not want to name names, but I'll give you a hint. She's the 4-year-old that rhymes with Harry. Oh man, that kid. Whew, she gets wound up, and she's our 5th little one, so she just is our big comedian. And anyways, it was like I had the flu. Oh, or like hungover. I was feeling so bad. I turned to food to feel better. Good news. It didn't make me feel better. I love that. I love that. I love that. It did not make me feel better because I did not get high at all. I did not turn to sugar and flour, and food was not the answer. Sleep was, which I got because my dear husband let me go to bed at 6 p.m. last night. I just checked out. I said, "You're going to feed everybody?" I got up at 8 or 9 and went out there, and there was nowhere to be. Nobody was out there. My husband was in the recliner. I said, "Did everybody eat?" He said, "Yeah, we ate chips and guacamole." I don't know. I can hear them upstairs playing. Apparently they all made it till today. But anyways, I didn't need food. I needed sleep. I turned to food though. And thank you, Talita. In my description of day 19 up underneath, I just binged. I said that, golly, I told Greg, I said, I almost feel like a fraud. I almost feel like a fraud starting this 35-day commitment and then stumbling. And as I wrote the word stumble, I was like, is that a word? Because you know, there are words that are not words, like tump. She tumped it over. I don't know. I don't really use that word, but I know I probably use lots of words that aren't words. Anyways, you get my point. I started thinking, is stumble a word? And then I thought, yes, it is, because of that song from what, the 90s? DC Talk, maybe? What if I stumble? What if I fall? What if I lose my step and I make fools of us all? Will the love continue when my walk becomes a crawl? What if I stumble? What if I fall? So I was like, oh yeah, that's a word. So Talita commented up underneath my comment and said, Emily, she asked me if I remember that song, and she quoted those lyrics. And so that's going to be my anthem for a couple days. I will put that song below this video. Such a good song. When my walk becomes a crawl, you guys, sometimes we just crawl, but even still, let's crawl in the right direction towards Him and His loving arms. there are things in life we need to ask for forgiveness for. But we don't have to ask for forgiveness for being human. We don't have to approach the throne of God and seek his face and look in his face and ask him to look in ours with shame around being imperfect. That is the nature of this human experience. That is why we needed Jesus. And if we think that our efforts are to in some way make us, we're not trying to be perfect. If we were, that would really invalidate everything Jesus did. So anyways, there are going to be times that our walk looks like a run. It looks like a sprint. It looks like we've caught our stride. And when we do, and you see that in each other, just cheer them on. Just tell them, you go, girl. I love it. Diana and I take turns. It almost brings tears to my eyes. Diana and I take turns catching our stride, and we just cheer each other on. Knowing that you cannot run like that. You cannot stay at that pace. It's not sustainable to catch that kind of stride forever. A marathon runner. Let's just think the number one most marathon-y person in the world, the most fit human being in the world, cannot run forever. They have to stop and refuel, and even they are susceptible to something crazy happening. I watched a little clip of a YouTube video recently of a guy in a bicycle race. What are those called? Bicycle race? On the side of the road, weeping because the tire had fallen off his bike, and you're just watching him cry, sort of in waves of sobs, as the realization was setting upon him that it's too late. He could not even get back in that race. But he can get in another race, and probably because of that, he will have a better bike and a stronger mentality and more determination and more perseverance. It all works out for good. Romans 8:28 all works out for the good of us and the good of God. So anyways, let's keep in mind that there are just going to be times that we run and we race and we catch our stride, but there's also going to be times that we trip and we fall and we crawl. But continue as you move, just move in the right direction. I heard years ago, God does not expect perfection, but he does expect direction. And as I crawled last night into bed at 6 p.m., hallelujah, right? I started reaching out. I had my phone and I got, two gals, one in Tennessee and one in Florida. And I said, let's consider redoing the 14-day challenge. And anybody want to do it with me? And they both said, yes, I do. And my mom was like, I'll do it. So there's 3. And it's only $14. If you want to do it, do it. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend. It's like the number one thing I recommend when getting started on Bright Line Eating. Do the 14-day challenge. When you sign up, you have several days now. It used to be instant, but now you have like a week to get some things in order before your 14-day starts. And then she trickles in videos every single day. And you guys, those videos, they're little 3-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, well, none are 3, but they're about 10 or 15 minutes long usually. They, day by day, she sort of holds your hand doing this one day at a time. And leads you through your first 14 days of getting off sugar and flour. So anyways, I have done it a couple times, the 14-day challenge over the past year and a half. I'm going to start it again in 7 days because we signed up for it last night. And I want to go ahead and have some bright days leading up to that, leading up to those 14 days. But it is to refresh and refocus. So if you're interested, by all means, join us. But anyways, as I was crawling, I still was crawling in the right direction. And so I'm so excited about what we have going on around the house today. I will go into more detail about it in a little bit. But this old house built in 1829, we've come to a couple forks in the road where we're like, what do we do? Do we just bulldoze it, or do we put lots more money into it? And a year ago, we we gave this house something it's never had, which is a foundation. It was built on piles of rocks, and we put a foundation up underneath it. The process was amazing. I'm actually going to make one of my private videos public later so you can see. I'll explain that later in this video. But we've got a guy laying the stone on our porch, and again, I'll go into that in a little bit. But I'm so excited because yes, yesterday I would call it a binge, even though it's starting to just sort of look like overeating, but I'd call it a binge, right? But I'm just so excited. Okay, you guys, just bear with me. I'm so excited about today. Probably because I got about 25 hours of sleep last night. Also because even after a day like that, I don't wake up like puffy and swollen and hungover. No, all I ate was food. It was just food. I didn't open any. Oh, yes, I did. I opened a package and, ooh, Doritos. They're probably not very bright. Okay. Full disclosure. Aside from the Doritos, this little bitty pack that came home in the kids' school food, nothing but food. Nothing but food. It was not a free-for-all of sugar and flour. I'm not dealing with crazy inflammation this morning. So without further ado, here are the 5 ways that I'm leveling up. And they are on this super sophisticated little corner piece of a coloring book page. Here's how I'm leveling up. I'm leveling up my water game. You'll see that in a minute. The 14-day challenge. I am signing up for that again to refresh and refocus. I am going to now do the 35-day commitment with Alina, but for Samantha. I'll go into that later. And I'm going to tackle this stuff in my room. And I'm also going to put the scale away. Susan Pierce Thompson, when you focus on the weight, you lose your lines. When you focus on the lines, you lose your weight. So ever since I hit the 100-pound mark, I think I've been it's been some self-imposed kind of freak out. You know, now when people ask me, how much have you lost? Instead of saying almost 100, I say 100. And they're like, oh, 100? And I'm like, uh-huh. And then I eat. It's just been kind of like a source of anxiety for me and a source of pressure to like keep that up. It was actually pretty funny yesterday when I was in the car and all my kids were driving me crazy, one in particular, and everybody was eating this chicken and I just decided to eat some. And my son was like, the 100 pounds. I was like, I know, it's okay. I've got so much accountability, sometimes way more than I want, which there's no such thing. I want more and more and more. But then it was funny because I had all this chicken and I wanted to dip it in something. So I was like asking the kids, I was like, give me some of your ranch. And they hesitated. They were like, Mama, no. And I said, you better give me that ranch. Somebody's going to be walking home if you all don't give me some ranch. All right. I'm going to hop into this day. Charlie wants some sausage. He's feeding bottle calves right now. And I told him I'd cook him some sausage. I think 2 kids are still asleep and 2 are happily playing right above me, but 1 wants some sausage. So let me jump back into my life, and then and again, this is my life too now, sharing with you guys. But I want to show you some of these in a minute. All right, here we go. How cute are those? I love seeing these little sneakers around my house. Okay, so here's my scale. And it is going to go in this cedar chest until Tuesday, April 6th, the Tuesday after Easter. Yay! I love having a day that did not feel spot on, but when I wake up the next morning, I'm still in this much smaller body. Hallelujah! I want to head in this direction. I'm telling you, it's a really good thing when the cons outweigh the pros, and when turning to what we used to turn to is no longer comforting or comfortable. Woohoo! Progress. Okay, so thank you, Kate, for sending me those 4 S's. Let's see if I can recall them. Post binge from Susan Pierce Thompson, the 4 S's: speed, self-talk, seek the lesson, and social support. So I'm going to, that's some good stuff, which is what bright line eating is, which is why I'm so glad to be doing this 14-day challenge again. And God has convicted me over and over this morning in a couple different ways to listen to all of the module videos that lead up to the 14 days. I skimmed over them. I said, yep, check, 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 check. Let's do this. Let's jump into this. That's usually a red flag if I'm trying to like rush into something. What am I trying to avoid? So my friend Jennifer said, Emily, just in the event, that we're trying to do it our way and not hers, she said, let's listen to all those again. I was like, nope, I can't. I don't have the capacity, blah, blah, blah. I got so much going on around here. And I had to recognize that red flag of rebellion. Why am I rebelling against those? And that would be my human nature, and that would be the enemy himself, wanting to keep me from total surrender, total freedom. And 98% free is not free. So I want freedom, and there's ironically freedom in boundaries. I use my cows as an example all the time. They are happy and healthy. They would not be without that fence around them. My friend Jennifer said, let's do it. And I was like, no. And I was kind of like texting her like, I don't think so. And then I could just feel the Spirit telling me, do it. And I got an email from Diana, and she was saying, I'm so glad you're doing the 14-day challenge. And she said, and I highly recommend, I'm going to put that on here. She said, I highly recommend, going through those startup videos, because our human nature and our addiction wants to do things our way. And a version of the truth is not the truth. And taking our medicine, but not as prescribed, is not taking our medicine. And I want to take this as prescribed. So I will be going through the videos. And now the way Bright Line Eating does it, you have a week before. So I've got plenty of time, but I had to put it on my calendar too, because the enemy would have me be the hare and not the tortoise, and never get around to watching those. And especially now that I've given up YouTube videos for Lent, I have time to hear those while I'm in this kitchen. So anyways, those 4, social support, seek the lesson, speed, and self-talk, get back on as quickly as possible. That's the speed part. Also, I say care, confess, accept, re-engage, and then extend grace. And that's one thing that I'm doing right now, which is why I want to share this with you about post-binge psychology. So I just want to share what this channel does. I say life is a process. Let's process it together. Making these videos puts me in a position. I'm not going to say force, because I don't have to do it, but it causes me and motivates me to articulate a lot of the things that I just do. I just do them. It's my God-given personality. It's the way I operate. It's my MO, my mode of operation. But I am highly motivated to explain why I do what I do. If it would share any of you, if sharing it with any of you would be an encouragement, and maybe just help you on your journey. So, time out. So good. Hi Diana, I love you, and I mention you in almost every single YouTube video I make. Girl, I'm making this video to tell you God just used you in real time. So, funny enough, and this is a little bit mind-blowing for me, I flew through those introductory modules and wasn't planning on watching them until my friend Jennifer that's doing this with me said, let's watch them. And I even rebelled, and I was like, nah, let's don't. I've got a lot going on. And I could just feel the Spirit convicting me that I was rebelling for some reason. So after a long conversation on the phone, I decided, okay, well, I'll watch all those module videos. And then you emailed that to me, and I read it after I had already surrendered to watching them all. So I'm 100% with you. We absolutely make things fit what we want. That's the nature of this disease. So I'm going to watch all the videos. In fact, I will probably string all these little text messages in this video that I'm making right now. Today is so great, and I'm so excited. Okay, here I am. I'm back. Post Binge Psychology. I just wanted to show you all this morning that I had a very intentional breakfast. I had a piece of that Ezekiel toast, 2 ounces of peanut butter, what I would call like real peanut butter, as opposed to my natural peanut butter it's ironically as real as it gets, but Jif is what we all, Skippy. That's like what we think of when we think of peanut butter. So, and then a banana. I had that because I've noticed the last 2 times, it would have been on the 24th and the 21st. The last 2 times that I broke my lines and went a little bonkers. Both times I had a banana with peanut butter. I know because in my mind, I'm like racking my brain. What can I have? What can I have? That's like dessert. That's the closest thing I can come up with. So here's the psychology. Upon reflection, on these days that I break my lines and I like rebel against this program, I'm turning to peanut butter and banana, which I can have, right? We can have peanut butter and banana, but I'm sort of like turning to those as a means of like rebelling. I know, right? I'm like, so tell people I listen to this rebel on YouTube. She's wild and crazy. Okay, it's hard for me to articulate this, but I can do it. If I'm turning to those on the days that I'm rebelling, there must be part of me that thinks those are no-nos. They are not no-nos, okay? So, but here's why I would personally call that a no-no. Months ago, when I was doing a version of Bright Line Eating, I had 2 ounces of this stuff, okay? Then I was like, oh, that was good. I think I put it on frozen banana or something. Then, oh, my phone. Okay, I got 5%. Then a little, okay, can you hear me? Okay, so then like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, 2 ounces of that was pretty darn good. So I had 2 more and I was like, I'll call this my lunch protein. And then I had, bear with me. I've heard more than one person call the disordered eating bizarre, and it is, right? We could all share our bizarre eating moments. I know we could. I know you could. If you're listening to this, you probably had a couple moments, right? Okay, anyways. You guys, I ended up eating 6 ounces total. Guess what that did to me? In case you don't know, peanut butter will go straight through you. And it was an emergency trip down the hall to the bathroom. I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, it was gross. That made me sick. Like I had a sick stomach for a while. So I quit eating this kind of peanut butter and only switched to natural peanut butter, which is just ground up peanuts. Okay, I get it from the Mennonite store down the road. So this became like oh, I'm too sensitive for that now. I'm so delicate, right? It became something I didn't eat. It turned into something as I would sort of like experiment. I can eat it again. It doesn't gross me out. And so I started using this as like a binge food, as like, again, what I would turn to on those days that I'm rebelling. Which I'm telling you, progress. What rebelling looks like now is, it's getting to the point where it's really not rebelling. I mean, it still is somewhat. No, it still is. But you guys, we've come so far. We've just come so far. This is a process of progress, and we can just see our behaviors evolving, which takes time. This is reversing momentum. Okay, here's my point. This is not a no-no. So this morning, I purposely had 2 ounces of this because this journey is as much, if not more, about what we are giving ourselves versus what we are depriving ourselves of. We want to cut sugar and flour out, but we want all the good stuff in. Again, get those vegetables in. I talk at length about this in my video called Pain Has Purpose, where I answer Desiree's question about eating. Our bodies have to be convinced that they can let go of the fat. They have to be convinced that they're getting everything they need before they can, before they'll be confident enough to release the fat. And they get convinced by receiving all the good stuff. So, I purposely gave myself today the very thing that I must subconsciously be thinking I can't have, because I'm turning to it on days where I'm like, oh, I'm taking a little break from this program. I can have this. I told my brain I can have it by giving it to myself an hour ago. Also, after days where I've broken my lines and binged, if I want to eat light, great. And especially if you or someone has turned to sugar and flour, you might want to drink loads of water and just eat things that would be more detoxing, right? Like not eating the Triscuits that come out of a box because of the salt and additives that are in there. But never, hear me when I say this, never do I punish myself for being human the day before. I do not want to get that pendulum swinging where I eat a whole lot one day and then not much the next. I want to, as quick as I can, get right back to here, where I'm centered and I'm moving forward. I do not hold grudges. I do not try to right the wrongs. I just move forward. And you might want to take a break from the scale because it's probably not going to have real great news for a while. That's okay. It's all part of it. We might have many day ones, but we are not back to square one. We are learning and we are allowing time and space. We're giving ourselves grace, and we're being patient with ourselves. We're being patient with these bodies. We cannot do to them for 15 years or however long, might be 20 or 30 or 40 or a year. You might have had a rough year. We cannot do something to them over and over and over and then expect them to turn on a dime and want different things and behave different ways. This is a process of coordinating efforts between our mind and our body. And again, I will not punish myself for being human. There are times that I need to confess and apologize to my Creator for what I've done to myself and this body. 1 Corinthians 6:19, do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit? Guilt serves its purpose. I learned that in this book right here. Thank you, John Baker. Rest in peace, John Baker. John Baker died. He went on to heaven just a couple days ago. But either him or Johnny Baker or Mac Owen wrote a devotional in here called Guilt versus Shame. I live by a very strict no guilt, no shame, no worry policy, but guilt, there's a nuance there. I experience guilt and then I aim to repent, which is apologizing a step further because you say I won't do it again. Ooh. Easier said than done. like a lot of things we're aiming to do. Anyways, I just want to share here that that this is a process, certainly, of giving our bodies what they need, training them to ask for good stuff, but not punishing ourselves in ways that ultimately can be really self-serving. I say guilt. I learned that from Dr. Phil. Thank you, Dr. Phil. Guilt can be self-serving. Guilt can be all we need to drive ourselves into the arms of the drug that we're addicted to for comfort. And like my friend Jennifer said this morning, I said, Jennifer, I've got so much good stuff going on. I said, please pray for me, because good stress is stress. Good stress is stress. And I've got a couple, it's been an intense couple weeks, I tell you. I guess it's been an intense couple decades. But we've got a guy laying rock today. I'll show you pictures. And like I said, my son's going for his license today, and my other son has a big weekend birthday bash, which is why here in a minute I've got stuff to tackle. He's having friends over that have never been here, which means I need to make it look like we are healthy, normal people. And I told my husband, said, how are we going to do that? And I said, I don't know. I'll watch YouTube videos on healthy, normal people and see what they look like. But I can't, because I gave that up for Lent. So I'm just going to have to kind of imagine. They probably have clear kitchen tables and empty sinks. Anyways, I asked for prayer because I told you the other day, I noticed that high, intense emotions, good or bad, I've probably for decades used food to bring me, used food to bring me back down from those. I don't want to do that. She said, turn to your comforter, look at him first, seek him first. Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God and all these things will be given to you. So I want to seek God. I'm going to read this devotional as soon as I finish this video, and not first think, oh, I know, I'll turn to fried chicken. Anyways, let's take the punishment element out of this. Even if you've legitimately done something wrong, that's sort of like us playing God. We don't need to punish ourselves. We have a Father in heaven that loves us dearly, and he wants to forgive us. And isn't that sometimes harder? Because to be forgiven means, okay, now walk straight. Go, therefore, and sin no more. That's harder than wallowing in self-pity about how awful we are. I'm just so bad. Emily's bad. No, I'm not. I'm forgiven. All right. Amen to that. I'll stop there. I hope you get my point. Give yourself all the good stuff. And apparently I was thinking, by my behavior was telling me, I was thinking, I can't have this. Oh, yes, I can. I actually like and somewhat prefer the other stuff from the Mennonite store, but I can have this. So I did this morning, which sends my body and my mind the message that I am not deprived. In fact, I'm far from it. My needs are so well met. God is good. He's with us, and he is meeting our needs. I love you guys. I'm going to jump back into this. Bye. Happy bulls. No ice, no snow. I'm sure they're happy. Yes, Diana just texted me and said, not only listen to the videos, but listen to one each day as you lead up to the 14-day challenge to get your mind ready and for those daily, that daily inspiration. So I just told her I'll do just that. And I swear, I'm like, are you reading my mind? And the truth is he is, and he's speaking to me through her and Jennifer, because my plan was to just watch them all one day real quick in a hurry. I want to get stuff done yesterday. But that does not allow my brain to accommodate and assimilate new information, which it needs. I have lots to learn. And I got to slow down a little bit to learn it. So I'm going to watch each of these videos. I'm like cutting half my eyeballs off. I am going to watch each of these videos one at a day, savor them, listen to them, all of these lead up videos to the actual 14 days worth of videos. So yay. Okay, and speaking of a version of the truth not being the truth, I'm going to link below some videos that I watched recently about New Age and New Thought beliefs, because this is on my mind, and it certainly relates to a version of the truth not being the truth. And if we do not know the truth, then we cannot discern lies. So let me share that down below. If you're interested, fantastic. Okay, so I put the scale away. I want to show you my other 4 ways that I'm leveling up. We talked about the 14-day challenge. That's a big one. I'm pumped about it, especially my gorgeous new notebooks. If you, if you're doing bright line eating, I highly recommend writing your food down the night before, following the program. Anyways, it might be time to treat yourself to a new notebook. I don't know. Okay, so those two. I want to tell you about Samantha now. So one way that I'm leveling up is I'm not just going to do this for me, which I know I'm not. I know that getting healthy and taking care of myself is very much for those around me. I've said before that this allows me to be in better shape, more fit, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. For those people around me, I feel more available. Okay, that's kind of like a broad overarching theme, that it's not just for me, right? It's also for those around us. And what an example it sets for to lose a lot of weight shows other people you can lose a lot of weight. I had so many people, I mean, it's countless, the people that inspired me to lose a lot of weight. And I'm just so excited now to have everything that goes along with it, including the loose skin. I used to see people on TV that were so brave and generous to share the shape their body was in after losing all that. And I can remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I want that. And I've got it. Okay. No, really, I'm thrilled. So overarching theme, this is not just for me, but very particular. In particular, I'm going to make this 35-day challenge not just about me. Which it's not, because I'm doing it with people, but I'm going to do it for someone. I'm going to do it for my sweet Samantha. Samantha, let me tell you a little bit about her. She used to be one of my students at the academy, which means that she had been kicked out of the middle school or the high school. And she is sharp as a tack and so cute and so sweet. And I love this girl. And to be honest, she probably wanted to be in my class. She probably wanted to be at the academy, and she knew exactly how to get there. I'm telling you, this girl is a sharp cookie. So that's typically what I found too. A lot of my kids with severe behavior issues are really smart and know what they're doing, because some of them, not her, this girl, not her. She, I love her mom. She's got an awesome family, but a lot of them are raising themselves. So they are smart in ways that a lot of us will never have to be. So I ran into her yesterday or the day before at a gas station, and it took both of us a minute to realize who the other one was. I've probably lost 100 pounds, and she has gained 6 years. She's not the little 14-year-old that I left her as. And when we realized who the other one was, we just were so happy and reconnected. And she shared with me that she lives right down the road and has 2 little ones now. She's got a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old. And Samantha is so hardworking, and I know she's an excellent mom. And she was covered in like soot because she works at a factory right around here. So I'm going to do this for her. And I told you all at the end of the 35-day commitment, I was going to draw a number, add a 0, and buy myself something. No, I'm going to buy something for her, which makes me super motivated to get these high numbers. I want to let her have the best chance of getting the biggest number, and I will stick to it. It might be tempting to like add to the gift, but she's going to get whatever I was going to give myself. I don't need it. It feels gluttonous at this point because these were going to be 35 bright days. They've been 35 bright-ish days. I've already gotten what I wanted, which was apparently peanut butter. So I'm going to do this for her. And they just built a brand new Dollar General store right down the road from me, which is right down the road from her. And I'll probably just get her a Dollar General gift card so she can go get milk, bread, diapers, eggs, whatever. All the good stuff. So let me show you what I got going on here for my sweet Samantha. So my little challenge. Nope, wasn't right. But now I am doing this with Alina and for Samantha. By the way, this was the day that inspired the video I just binged, okay? This was Sunday when I hit the 100-pound mark, and then late that night ate a bunch of chicken and rice. 2 days later, I've noticed this over the months too, that when there's one, a lot of times there's a second one. It's like binges seem to come in pairs. I don't know. Something to be on the lookout for. But these X's right here following a binge, those are really some X's to be proud of. So I'm really proud of those X's. Anyways, I just wanted to show you all. I drew that little flower, and I purposely have a green background because I associate green with growth, and we are growing. Okay, so now that we've talked about Samantha, I want to show you another way that I'm leveling up. I'm tired of this stuff in my bedroom, and it's time for it to come out of here anyways, because the guy that's laying rock, is that what you call it? He's putting stone on our porch in the front of my house. He's coming in my house today to put a hearth, hopefully today, right here at this fireplace. All right, so it was a year ago, we had to move out for 7 months. This house had no foundation. And the floors fell in. The floor in one of my favorite little rooms that I showed you the other day, fell in, which is no surprise. 200 years old almost, no foundation, and 200 years of termites. Bad. There's some bad termite stuff going on. Like the floor fell in, you could see dirt. I am going to make public a video that I made for the Kentucky Historical Society. I think that's what it's called. Our house is registered. We are not going to register it nationally because I would have to get permission to change paint colors if I wanted to be on these historic registrations, which does provide some protection. I got too much going on around here. I need to be able to do what I want when I want with my house. So the fact that we were registered on just the Kentucky one, we had to prove to people that we were not, any of our renovating was before we could get a loan to renovate. We had to prove that none of our renovating was going to mess with the integrity of the structure or, and ironically maybe we can't. Maybe I'm not allowed to burn my house down. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know that before we could get a loan, we had to prove to the Kentucky Historic whatever that all of our plans were going to still represent and reflect and respect the nature of this historic home. And anyways, the video that I'm going to make public, I sent to them to show them we care about this house. In fact, we took the floor up and got a guy in here, an ex-Mennonite. He's probably the only guy on the planet that would have touched it. He jacked the house up, poured a concrete footer, left the jacks in the concrete. And I want you to know that right here in this bedroom, 20-foot logs, the floor joists were just logs. It was all hand etched and hand whatever. You could see little marks in these logs from the 1820s when they were building it. These logs went out my bedroom window. That TV right there, You're going to see it in the pictures. It didn't cross our minds to cover it. We really had no idea what we were getting into. There have apparently been animals living under my bedroom for years and years and years. And you'll see the piles of stone that it was built on. What's so beautiful is that the piles of stone are now what they're using to put on the porch. And the floorboards that they pulled out are going to be the ceiling of our porch out there. We are taking all of these materials that were pulled up out from under my house and using them in this rebuilding adventure, and they'll be part of the final transformation. So I'm so excited. It's all very sentimental. It's all a blessing and an honor to live here and take our turn living in here, because there were so many people that lived here before us, and there will be, by the grace of God, this place will stand for 200 more years. So I'll show you all that. This man that's doing this stone, he built the hearth in the other room. I can show you, and I'm so excited I get one in my bedroom. It's going to be wonderful, especially because my room gets cold. So let me show you what I'm talking about, leveling up and getting this stuff out of here. This stuff, like I said, we had to move out and back in, and so we just have boxes around, and they're getting on my nerves. I'm tackling them today. Thing with it, I don't even know where it's going to go, but it does not go here. There is the fireplace that is going to get a hearth. I'm so super excited. And this is a little chest of artifacts that were found in the restoration process in the 90s. Like I said the other day, little bits of doll, look at this, little bits of doll clothing and newspapers that were found in the logs, probably to keep the wind out. And right here I'll show you that in the 90s, this house was stripped down to what I call Lincoln logs. Where you could see straight through. So it's got all new chinking. And my husband's grandparents live in Michigan, so they don't get inches of snow, they get feet of snow. So they did this amazing job getting this place insulated. And honestly, it does not take that much to heat and cool it, because it is insulated like they do in Michigan. So, anyways, I've told you all before, people deliver pizzas and tell me they used to live here, or I bought something off Facebook from a lady and she said, "You know that old brown house?" I said, "Yeah, that's my house." And she said she used to live here. So lots of people that have worked on the farm have lived here. So anyways, there's the stuff. I'm going to tackle it, and it's going to help me level up my program. Yay, I got my floor cleaned off. Now I just need to clean off my bed. Okay, here's the house. There's the border collie, the poodle. But what I'm so excited about today is the rock. So these are the piles of rock. That rock was up underneath my bedroom when they started pulling everything out to put the foundation in. And now it is becoming our porch. Okay, so the fifth way that I'm leveling up is upping my water game. I have shown you all that I put my scale away. I re-enrolled in the 14-day challenge. I am doing this with Alina, but for Samantha. I'm in the process of dealing with all that stuff in my bedroom. And this is how I'm upping my water game. So I drink 96 ounces of water every day. That's my goal. I definitely drink 34 before breakfast. I earn each meal with 32 ounces, which is wonderful. It's a great way to delay gratification and put a little space in between I'm hungry and chewing. So it's kind of like you have a little buffer zone where you sort of force yourself to have to wait just a minute and drink that water before you get to eat. So 32 ounces is 96. A gallon of water is 128 ounces. So I, for a long time, drank a gallon of water a day. In fact, I had, if anybody's been with me since Weight Watchers, Sticker Baby, hi Sticker Babies, I used to have all these gallons sitting out, and I had them labeled each day of the week. And it was pretty handy. I'd grab that gallon and a bottle and then refill it throughout the day. And it was a really awesome visual to watch the gallon of water make its way down to the bottom. I trust that if I break this into 4 32-ounce amounts, that'll be pretty easy to keep up with as well. So I'm going to earn my breakfast with one of these, earn my lunch with one of these, earn my dinner with one of these, and then have one after dinner. And I'll want to do that sooner than later, so that I'm not up all night in the bathroom. So that's that. I'm upping my water game to a gallon a day. It's doable, but it takes focus, which is great because it will keep the focus off the food. It will give me something that I have to do. So you guys, that's it. I love you all dearly. I've had fun making this video today, and I'm going to hop off of here because we just have so much to do before Franklin's birthday party tomorrow. So again, I'm gonna show you guys the video of what it looked like when they dug the floor out of my bedroom to give us a concrete footer. And I have another special message for Kate today. But that's it. If I don't put out any more videos between now and then, have a great weekend, and we will talk soon.